What's up, everybody? What's up, MGTOW? So I just wanted to do a quick video on the topic of informed consent. Now, the question really is, has society become too complex for the average person to give informed consent? And specifically, I'm talking about in the political arena, because informed consent is basically one of the backbones of a democratic society, that the citizens are able to be informed and then, vote for politicians that have their best interest in mind. But it seems that these days, a lot of topics that come up either in politics or things surrounding those type of areas, the amount of not just knowledge, but understanding of the topics is at an extreme high. I mean, I can give a bunch of examples here, and then maybe you can decide whether or not you think that, democracy is even able to work under these complex conditions. I mean, just first of all, within the worldview paradigms, the amount of science and understanding of trigonometry and high-level calculus that you need to understand to prove whether space exists, the Earth is round or flat, is astronomical, no pun intended. And you can know because somebody told you that the Earth is round or that space is there and planets are there, but can you really understand all of the advanced mathematical computations that go into being able to figure out that those things are true? Most average people can't do that much math. And so there's a lot of intelligent people out there now that pretty much don't believe that space exists. They don't believe that the planet is round because, how can you prove it to them unless they themselves can do all that advanced mathematics? And I think that's why we're seeing so much of a rise in solipsism and other types of philosophies where people just don't even believe that reality is real within itself, because the complexities of trying to understand all of the things that go into what makes up reality and all the science and math and philosophy and all these other things that just go into your worldview of understanding whether or not reality is real or not, specifically epistemology and ontology. These are very complex topics, and then on top of it, you have to understand all this math and science and all these different topics that you'd have to understand in order to know or understand whether or not reality is real, space is real, the planet's round, and all these other things. Now, another topic would be the military. Like, for instance, even the highest level geopolitical analysts, they can't really give you a straight answer as to why we're in Afghanistan for 20 years. There's a lot of theories and there's a lot of speculation as to why we were there. But the highest level geopolitical analysts can't just give you a matter of fact answer as to why it happened. So how could you expect an 18-year-old guy who may or may not have been awake during social studies class to be able to figure out and give informed consent to join the military? Because in the past, it was pretty easy to figure out. It was like, well, those guys over there with the guns are coming over the hill, so, it's time to get armed. But nowadays, especially when you're talking about foreign intervention and things like that, it's a very complex issue. And to expect an 18-year-old guy to be able to completely, fully, not just know because somebody told him this or that, but to actually understand the complexities of why they're joining the military, it seems like it's a far reach. Now, again, when we're looking at economics, it's a very similar thing where the highest level economic analysts and financial advisors and things like that, they're all in disagreement with what the different problems are with the economy. So how can you expect your average low information voter who's basically voting for somebody because of their skin color or what's in between their legs to understand the complexities of the economy and then vote for a representative that's proposing to be able to do some benefit to the economy or some benefit to average citizens? I mean, it's almost impossible to think that that is possible if the highest level economic analysts can't even give you a straight answer as to what we need to do with the economy. Then again, when you're looking at the new medical regulations and things like that, it's very similar. You have very high-level PhD scientists on both sides of the debate telling you you should do it, you shouldn't do it, you should take this, you shouldn't take this. And even within those spheres on both sides of the debate, where some people are telling you should take it, some people are telling you shouldn't take it, they can't even agree as to why you should take it or why you shouldn't take it. When you look on one side, people are saying, well, you shouldn't take it, and one guy is saying you shouldn't take it because of X, and another guy is saying you shouldn't take it because of Y. And then on the other side, one guy is saying you should take it because of A, or you should take it because of B. And even within those spheres, you can't get a straight answer. So how is the average person supposed to give informed consent to what they're doing when it's so complicated? It's just getting to the point where it seems like it's almost impossible to make an informed decision on certain topics without, having a PhD yourself in certain things. And of course, the trust level within the government is at an all-time low, and people are voting based on, charisma points and different characteristics for people who themselves are not experts in any of the fields that we're discussing. I mean, the most recent two presidents are not experts in the military. They're not experts in science. They're not experts in math. One was a good businessman, but to say he's an economic expert really is kind of going over the bounds of that. So you can just see here from the examples that I've given that, the backbone of a democratic society being informed consent and the near impossibility of the average person to really understand what they're voting for, what they're signing up for in a huge plethora of social type of things, there's really no way for someone to give informed consent. And some people might say, well, we need a different form of government, like a dictator or a monarch or something like that. But I think even in this case, even a monarch or a dictator wouldn't be able to gain the high level of expertise in all of these fields like economics, military, geopolitics, science, math, and all these things to a PhD level, all of those different spheres, in order to make an informed decision themselves, and then also to make a decision that could benefit at least even the majority of people. Because there's just so much information and it's at such a high level now that it seems to be like, just a crapshoot. Like you just have to kind of take a guess, oh, my team is red team or blue team, and just go with that. And that's maybe one of the reasons why it seems like people are acting so quote unquote sheepish these days, is because the level of information that you need to make a decision is almost out of reach for the average person. And even when you defer to experts, the experts themselves can't even agree. So like I said, democracy seems to work great when it's like you and 5 of your friends trying to figure out if you want to order pizza or burritos. But when it comes to these high level things that are affecting everyone in society, it's almost as if there's no way to really understand what's going on. Maybe you can know because somebody told you, but to say that you completely understand, all the trigonometry involved in proving that the planet's round, or all the calculus involved in proving how far away the sun is and all the different planets and stuff like that, when there's even disagreement within the highest levels of those fields, it's kind of, a stretch to say that you understand. You might know because somebody told you, like I said, but to say that you completely understand all the science and the math and these things that are involved in it, it's just almost not possible for someone to understand all the different spheres of society to a PhD or above level in order to make an informed decision. But like I said, I'll leave it up to you to decide whether or not you can decide to make informed decisions. So I'm going to get out of here with that. Have a good day and go MGTOW.